Have you ever had one of those days where you woke up and you just felt amazing? You could think clearly, you had tons of energy, and you just found it easier to be happy? If so, how much more did you enjoy that day than your average day? How much more did you accomplish that day? And how much better did you feel about yourself at the end of the day? I know from personal experience that when I feel amazing, it's so much easier for me to be happy, to be productive, and ultimately own the day, which leaves me feeling great about where my life is going and even who I'm becoming. In fact, I got so obsessed with these days because they made me feel so energetic, happy, and alive that I became obsessed with learning how to have this type of day every single day. And what I realized is that there's just a few key secrets that will enable your body and brain to feel this amazing on a regular basis. In short, I found ways to rewire your body and brain into a powerhouse through the types of workouts you do and the types of foods that you eat. You see, what most people don't realize, that you might not realize as well, is that every time you're eating food or even working out, that food is sending your cells instructions. Those instructions can either activate or deactivate certain genes through what's called gene expression. And basically, it will either boost or damage how your body performs and feels on a cellular level. Now look, I know some of you might be thinking, change or activate your genes or deactivate your genes, what are you talking about? I thought we were just born with genes and we're either lucky or we aren't. Now, in a sense, that's totally true. You're definitely born with genes that can limit your potential or give you more potential in a certain area. For example, people with weightlifting, some people just put on muscle quicker, and not only that, they can get to a point where they put on way more muscle than the average person. And think about it, some people just have an amazing physique. Not everyone can get to that level of physique because their genes are limiting them. Now, while it is true that your genes can limit your potential in a sense, and you're either born with good ones or bad ones in certain areas, you can do things that will affect those genes, how they're expressed, and ultimately affect how you feel, look, and think, how your brain and body operates. Now, there's actually a new emerging field called epigenetics, which goes more into depth about this. And it's really not as crazy if you stop and think about it for a sec. I mean, think back to that last time where you had ice cream. Well, how did your body feel after like 20 minutes? Probably not too good. I know that when I eat ice cream, I get like mental fog. I don't think clearly and my stomach kind of hurts. Like that food's literally hurting me and making my body not operate as well in the short term. Well, just like how that ice cream is affecting you in the short term, most foods and exercises, they do the same thing, but on the long term. And what happens with most people is they kind of neglect this. They don't really understand how food and exercise or lack of affects them. And they start to form habits of eating unhealthy foods, start to consistently not work out, and over time, their body, it takes a hit because of it. They start to get mental fog. It feels like their brain isn't firing on all cylinders. Maybe you go throughout your day and all of a sudden, like you just can't think clearly. It almost seems like you have no computing power. Or maybe you crash around 2 or 3 p.m. because you get tired. Ultimately, you feel like a zombie or something. Or maybe you just get brain farts. You know, like the reality is a lot of people, they get to this point where their body and brain, they don't feel good. They don't operate well. And it's most of the time it's because of their diet and exercise, the foods that they're eating or not eating, the exercise that they're not doing. Now, we call the people who go throughout their life feeling sluggish, that feel trapped in their body, the trapped string beans, because they're trapped in a life where their body and brain, they're not functioning at its full capacity. They're functioning at like 50% capacity. And the worst part is when your brain and body, they don't function well. It's harder for you to crush your day, to feel comfortable in your own skin. And because of this, you might even start to form negative thoughts and self-doubt. You begin to question everything you thought you were going to do in your life. And I know that when you have negative thoughts and constant self-doubt in your mind, it cuts into your happiness, your confidence, and potential like a knife slicing through a warm slab of butter. Now, that's why in the new era of health, we transform these trapped string beans into conquerors. In short, we have them work out and eat like a conqueror which will send your body powerful signals to boost your energy, mental clarity, and mood so that you become a powerhouse that will not be stopped. Because in the new era of health, we know that true health is much more than having a nice physique. It's about becoming an unstoppable force where you think as clearly as the guy in Limitless, attain godlike energy, the confidence of a celebrity, and become a super achiever so that you make tons of money and live the life you always knew you were meant to live. Now, if you want to learn more about how to work out and eat like a conqueror, those are just 2 out of the 3 steps of the new era of health 3-step system that will rewire your body and brain into a powerhouse. If you want to learn more about this 3-step system, then click the link around this video.